Now it's time to do some hands-on, and this is how the hands-on architecture would be. I'll be using a Python application which I'll host on my laptop. From the Python application, I'll make calls to OpenAI servers using conversations API, instructions, responses API, etc. And then I'll also make function calls. And the function calls will make database calls to a PostgreSQL database which will be hosted on Azure. So OpenAI server is somewhere else. Actually, it is also on Azure. In the previous section, I had shown you how we can use the Foundry, Microsoft Foundry, to use OpenAI servers or to use the OpenAI models. So that's why I'm using PostgreSQL database, which will be on Azure. So the first thing that I have to do as a prerequisite is to create a PostgreSQL database or a PostgreSQL server on Azure and then load the database with multiple tables. And we'll be using multiple functions in the Python application to make a call to this PostgreSQL database server, and the Python application would be on our laptop. So as a first prerequisite, you'll have to create a resource group in Azure. I am logged in to Azure. If you do not know how to use Azure, I have a free course on my website, which is Azure Essentials. You can take a look at that. So I'll be creating a resource group. This is my home screen of Azure, and from here you can type resource groups and it will take you to the same console that I was showing you. First, let us go ahead and resource group, and this is the resource group that I'm going to use for all the resources in our course. Keep the subscription as is. I do not have any other subscription. This is the resource group name and the region is Central India. That's it. We'll go ahead and create the resource group, and looks like it got created. So the resource group has been created. Now I'll be creating a PostgreSQL server. Now for that, you'll have to go to the search button and type PostgreSQL. So there are two options, as Azure Cosmos DB for PostgreSQL clusters and Azure Database for PostgreSQL flexible servers. You'll have to use the second one, which is PostgreSQL flexible servers. Click on this and click on create. Now here we'll have to mention the subscription and the resource group which you have just created. This is the name. The region should be Central India or whichever region you have created your resource group in. The PostgreSQL version should be 17. You can use 18 also. Then the workload type should be dev test, not production. Now here the compute and storage, you can use larger also, but I think this is enough, 2 vCores and 4 GB of RAM. You can change it from here. You can click on configure server, and here you can change it to, let's say, 2 cores and 8 GB of RAM, or 4 cores and 16 GB of RAM. Anything is fine. Let's use the second one, which is 2 vCores and 8 GB of RAM. The zonal resiliency should be disabled, otherwise it would cost you more. Click on save. Now here we have set up the compute and storage. Now in availability zone, you can keep it as is. The zonal resiliency is disabled. And in authentication, you have to mention PostgreSQL authentication. You can use Microsoft Entra authentication also, but it would be a little complicated. That's why I'm using very simple PostgreSQL authentication. The user can be anything. I'm selecting Postgres and the password. Now next, go to networking. Now in networking, make sure you use public access in the connectivity method, because we have to load the database or load the tables from the files which are there in your laptop. So I hope you have downloaded all the resources. Use public access here. Then we have firewall rules. And in the firewall rules, you can mention add current client IP address. Just click on this. It will add your IP address or your laptop's IP address so that you can log into the PostgreSQL server. Then security, nothing has to be done here, and the tags would also be as is. Click on review and create and create. Now the creation will take some time, and once the server creation is done, we'll have to create tables and load tables. I'll be providing all the commands that are needed to create the tables and load the tables. The Postgres server is up and running, and now I'll be using the pSQL command line or pSQL client to create database, to create tables and load those tables. This is the endpoint. You'll have to use this endpoint. So let's copy this. I'm using a Linux machine. If you want, you can use Windows machine also. You can use Windows command line and download the pSQL client. In Linux, I have downloaded it. The version is 14.18. And in Windows also, you can download the PSQL client. Now, the command to connect to the PostgreSQL server is similar in both the cases. Either you use Windows machine or Linux machine, the command would be the same. We will have to provide the host and the port. The host is the endpoint that you get from the Azure console, and the port would be 5432 because that is the default port and we have not changed the port. Then you mentioned dash capital U followed by the user. In our case, we have created this user while creating the server. Then you'll have to provide the password and then you are logged into the PostgreSQL server. There are 4 files that I'll be using: the finance account data, customer data, loan data, and transaction data to load the tables. First of all, I'll have to create these tables and make sure that you execute the psql command from the same location where your files are. In my case, this is the directory where I have logged in, and you see I have all the files available: the account file, the customer file, the loan file, and the transaction file. And I executed the psql command or the psql connect command from the same folder or from the same directory where these files are present. This is important because we are going to load the tables from this location. So we have to make sure that we are in the place where, or we are in the directory where the files are located. First, I'll be creating a database. This would be the name finance underscore db, and inside of this database I'll have to create the tables. I have provided you the command sheet which can be used to create the tables and copy the tables. Just copy and paste these commands in the command line. First, I'll have to create the account table, which is done. Then the customer table. So you'll have to just copy the command and paste it. That's it. Then the loans table. And finally, the transactions table. So all the 4 tables have been created. I have not provided any primary index or anything because that is not the purpose. Purpose is to use this database from a function call, and the output from this database will be integrated with the large language model. And this is the prerequisite that we are doing. Now, if we type /d, it will show me all the, /d, it will show me all the tables that we have created. So these are the 4 tables. Now I'll have to copy these tables from the location. And this is the command. Instead of the file path, you'll have to mention the file name from where you are loading the records from. You'll have to make sure that you use the single quote. Because you have connected or executed the psql command from the location where these files are already available, you do not have to type the entire file path. You just have to mention the file name. That's it. The accounts table has been loaded. Let me continue loading the other tables. And make sure you use single quote here. You do not have to do anything. You'll just copy these commands from the command sheet and paste it here. It should work just like that. Only thing that you have to make sure is that you are in the directory where the files are already located. And it is true for Windows also. Not necessarily it would be only for Linux. The command would be exactly same in Windows and Linux both. So once these are loaded, we are done with the prerequisites. Then we'll go ahead and create the Python application using function call.